And we're back here at Trade Profit Accelerator. It is week one, day one, and this lesson is called Only Takes One Day here. And like I said, this is week one planning. Day one only takes one day. So here's where we are in the course. And what we're going to cover today is a brief philosophy story, kind of a personal story for me. And then we're going to get into the initial monthly planning document as well as the measurable progress in a reasonable amount of time. Okay, it's sort of like a philosophy. And then last, we're going to end with the journey of 1,000 miles. You've probably heard that proverb before, but it's often said that we need reminding as much as we need the initial learning. Okay, so we're going to cover that again as well. And what this can do for you is it can build a new or improved concept of philosophy. It can help you understand the key to your better future and have a proven planning method from practitioners actually doing it in the market. And it can provide sources that can guide you to your destination. Okay? So let's jump right into the philosophy story here. Okay, so I did not realize the importance of philosophy in the grand scheme of things. I thought philosophy is pointless. It's not the real world and it can't help me. That was my overarching view on philosophy growing up. I just didn't see a point to it. And then I thought, how would that ever help me make money? And what I missed in the beginning is that life and business isn't about money at all. It's about rendering useful service and adding value to clients and customers. It was after I came across Jim Rohn's philosophy and some of his life's work that my personal philosophy took a big jump. And it was really Tony who introduced me to Jim Rohn, so I have to give him credit as well. And Jim is one of those special sources. I have a special sources document that is the top sources, and he's on there as well as 4 other outstanding sources. And those are in the resources section of this course. So you can go there and download this document and get all the other top sources right away, day one here. And that can get you started with some audiobooks and other things that they have out there, okay? And these special sources are really sources that can change the game for you. Their research and life's work is so in-depth and profound, and they categorized and organized it so well that just that one source can be incredibly valuable to you and the world. And it's like a super source. You know, as soon as you find one, because you start to have these epiphany moments, and they're so good, they have you scrambling to take notes so you don't forget, and you just want to share the information with others. It's like finding someone doing it best in their profession and then finding videos and recordings explaining how they do it. And then one of those big ideas in all of Jim's work inspired the course's first big idea here, and it's that you can change it all today. And the major key to your better future is you. And when he talks about this in his speeches, he says to underline 2 words in this sentence. And those 2 words are major and you. The major key to your better future is you, right? And he also uses the affirmation, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. And I love that saying because it's so true. Yeah, if it's meant to be, it's up to me, right? We determine our own destiny. And so that's the big idea for this lesson today is you can change it all today. And let's just jump right into the next thing here, the initial monthly planning document. And for this, I'm actually going to get right into the document itself. I'm just going to open up this document, okay? And you can download it with this link from the slides, or it's also in the resources section, okay? So I'm just going to open it and pull it on the screen here. So a few things that you should know about this document is the first tab is the themes tab. And this is a time management technique that I sort of learned is to have themed days of the week. So these are just examples, but fill in whatever makes sense for you for each day. And this will be a good start. And then you can start filling in the actual template and the days. Okay, so it's the 10th. It's Veterans Day at like 1 in the morning. I'm recording this, but I'm trying to get it out for Veterans Day. This week 1, day 1 here. So I'm recording it today in the early mornings. But the important things to know about this document are this note here. When you paste months with holidays or special events, you'll need to manually go in and copy over the holidays. So here's the key and months start on. I know this might not make sense to you right now, right away, but if we go to January, okay, so the next month would be February 2025. And instead of just copying over a random month, I'm going to go into my calendar here. You can't see it on the screen, but I'm going to go down to February 2025, and I can see that it starts on a Saturday. Okay, so that's pretty important in the template and the scheme of things. So let me go back to the key, the themes. So what starts on a Saturday is June 2024. So I can go to June 2024, move or copy, and go June 2024, create a copy. And that's going to create a copy of June here. And I'm just going to slide it over to the end. And then I'm going to rename it February 2025, sorry. And that's going to save me a lot of time because now I don't need to go in and edit 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't need to edit all these. I just really need to change the big holidays. So when I change this, I'm going to just change that and copy it from a similar Wednesday because I would be doing course building on Wednesdays, okay? And I can see this is in bold, so I know that's not a common occurrence. That was probably a holiday that had abbreviated trading schedules, so I'll just change that to 2021, okay? I'll look for other things like Christmas Eve. Obviously, that isn't in February, so I'll paste the mastermind here and just change those dates. But doing this is a lot easier than going in and editing each block and updating all the numbers at the top, okay? So that's a little hack to make the planning a little easier for you. Change the year up here, and I'll go ahead and save this document and upload it to the resources so you have this February 2025 month. And also you have this demo video to show you how you can just create months on your own and edit each month. And you just want to do a sanity check, go over all the days, make sure it's all good. And that's really it. And you just planned out your February. Now, you do want to be a little more specific and intentional with your planning, okay? If there's things that you have in February that you need to do, maybe it's a birthday, family member's birthday or something, you want to put that on the calendar, make sure you don't have any conflicts with your schedule, right? Okay, so that's the planning schedule in the initial document and where to download it. Okay, so we're just going to jump into the next thing here in day 1, and that's measurable progress in a reasonable amount of time. Okay, so most people overestimate what they can accomplish in a year, and they underestimate what they can accomplish in 10 years. And it's best to set a big goal, pick a date for it, and then work back from there. So once you have the goal and deadline, break it down into phases or big milestones. And let's say you want to have a fully functional online course, right? And 1 year may be ambitious if you've never done it before, but I'd say it's possible if you had the right skills. So some big milestones for creating an online course would be all the base documents and resources that you need, like the schedule that I just showed, right? And another big milestone might be completing all the presentation slides, like this slide that you're watching. And yet another milestone might be completing the recordings of the videos that you're actually listening to right now, right? And the last milestone might be uploading them to your website and uploading all the documents and the presentation slides. So the last step could take a lot longer if you don't know the first thing about coding or websites. And the first schedules that you create may not be accurate, but it's important to try to account for your time as it relates to your progress. Hopefully, this is all making a little sense for you. The goal has to be bigger than you, and the attainment of it should be something that excites you into a white heat of action. So that's it for measurable progress in a reasonable amount of time. And we're just going to end with the journey of 1,000 miles. This is the journey of 1,000 miles. It's been said we need reminding as much as we need the initial education. So as much as you've probably heard this proverb, I'm still going to go through it, and you should still listen to it. I've found this to be very true, and I'm a fan of how this ancient Chinese proverb makes me feel as well when I listen to it. It's inspiring and motivating, and it also makes logical and mathematical sense to me, at least. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. That's the proverb. And it's attributed to Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu. I'm not sure if that's how you say Lao Tzu, but I'm trying my best here. And it was found in Tao Te Ching, a classic text written around 6th century BC. And that's one thing I love about ideas and even phrases like this one is they can stand the test of time. They're not like a person or a business that doesn't last forever, right? We all know that people don't live forever, right? And most businesses don't stand the test of time, but that's unlike ideas. Ideas can last forever and they can stand the test of time, much like this Chinese proverb, okay? The one step seems insignificant at first, and if you measure the distance traveled as the percentage of total distance, it is very insignificant, right? One step isn't even close to 1,000 miles, but you shouldn't discount that first step because it is measurable and you can track the time it took you to make the step. And once you have the step per unit time, you can extrapolate out time needed to advance to your destination. And here's just an example. So let's say one step was 2 feet and it took you 3 seconds to go 2 feet, right? So you could then calculate out how many steps would be in a mile and how much time it would take you to go that first mile. And then once you had the time to go the first mile, you could just times it by 1,000 and then divide by 24 to get the days, right? So that's assuming that you're going 24/7. You might want to put in some time for sleeping and eating and things like that. But, here's the basic math is it would take you 91 days. And so that's just an example of how you can extrapolate out the journey from where you are to where you want to be. Okay? So that first step is the most important. And it takes faith, power, ability and will to do it. And as soon as you make that first step, the rest of your journey is measurably shorter, right? And every step gets you closer to your destination. So that's why I love the journey of 1,000 miles. Just want to point out all those fun facts about that proverb and really reinforce that journey of 1,000 miles. Okay, so that's really it for today. And the action item for today is super fun. I did most of the heavy lifting for you, building that document of the schedule. And a lot of people use the schedules on their phone. I really don't like that because you can't really see the big picture all in front of you. And you also can't easily pull it up and tab from month to month. And also use templates for repeating years, right? So that's all super useful, and hopefully you use it to your advantage, and hopefully it is a big help for you and that you do use it. But even if you're not dead set on using it yet, I do still recommend you going in and doing this action item just for habit of getting into doing these action items. It's super important to jump into action. This is an action course, and that is it for today. It only takes one day here. Remember that. And I will see you in week 1, day 2. And I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson. See you then.